how are ya? So today we are going to be making a fly spray. So you can make this into like a whole bottle fly spray. You can actually make it into a fly trap, or you can do what I'm going to be showing you, which is multiple fly repellents, okay? So we're going to be using our spray bottle. We're going to be using some cotton balls, and we are going to be using lavender and lemongrass. So lavender is actually the only oil you really need for this. It is extremely powerful when it comes to getting rid of flies. And of course, as in our household, we never have anything go uneventfully. And so about a week ago, we got a major fly infestation in our house. We haven't found the cause or culprit. We thought we did a few times, a few like house plants. We thought maybe they were attracting the flies. We thought maybe it was the trash cans or the fruit that we had that was ripening. So we thought it was a few different things. We thought it was the compost at one point. And we've thoroughly checked all of these areas. We've thoroughly checked all of the windows and screens. And we still haven't found the cause for what's actually bringing the flies in. But we have found a really good spray that helps us keep the flies away. Now, what I've been doing is I actually haven't been making the spray itself. I've actually just been adding these oils to the cotton balls and kind of putting them around the house, which has been working really, really well. But we are getting ready for the little babe to show. And so we're going to be in the hospital for a few days, and we're going to have like a couple people that are checking in and just kind of maintaining the house while we're not here. And instead of having everyone memorize the ratio, I'm going to go ahead and make a spray bottle of this ahead of time. So I figured it'd be a really nice way to kind of share it with you guys. This helps with all kinds of flies, from house flies to fruit flies. It doesn't really work so well when we're talking about like horse flies, but any kind of fly that's in your home or that's going to find its way in your home is really going to kind of steer away from these. So the thing that you want to make sure is there's a couple other oils that work fairly well when it comes to keeping flies away. Peppermint is one of them. Eucalyptus is one of them. You can use citronella as well. And while all of these are really good options, number one, you're going to want to dilute them with either a witch hazel or water, just because they can become really, really overwhelming, not just to the flies, but to you as well. And you also just want to know that, again, like I said, lavender is really the most potent when it comes to getting rid of flies. So those of you with diffusers, you are welcome to diffuse lavender like crazy. The reason that we kind of stood away a little bit from that is, like I said, we have a lot of areas. It wasn't like the flies were just in the kitchen. They were kind of sporadic around the house, which is one of the reasons we had a hard time, or are having a hard time, finding out where they're coming from. And lavender is an extremely calming and relaxing oil, right? And we're already pretty relaxed and calmed by the fact that it's so hot out. So everyone's really drowsy already. On top of the fact that I'm due next week, this week, sorry, I'm making this a few days ahead of time. So we're all already like really, really lethargic, and we didn't want to have to add lavender to the mix and make us even more lethargic. So we've been keeping it a little bit more condensed and specific to the fly areas, by not so much diffusing in large rooms, and rather just putting it on the cotton balls and specifically placing them kind of strategically where the flies have been going to most. So let's go ahead and get started. I actually do an entire bottle of lavender. So this is almost brand new. I think it's missing maybe like 20 drops. Not a lot though. And we are going to use the entire bottle. Now that's another reason that I enjoy using the lavender is I don't have to dilute it. I can use the whole bottle. I don't have to worry about like using only a little bit or only being able to make a little bit. You can really kind of go all out with this. So you use a whole bottle of lavender, and then I use exactly 20 drops of lemongrass. So lemongrass is one of those ones, I would smell it ahead of time, make sure it's gonna vibe with you. It's a pretty strong oil. Luckily for us, this is actually one of the oils that my husband really likes. So keeping this as part of the scent that's kind of around the house right now is not a huge deal. So we're gonna go ahead and count out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And as always, I'm gonna cut this. Oh, my scissors. Oh, so far away. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that. And I'm gonna keep it a little bit longer than normal. There we go, because we wanted to actually reach down in this. Now, those of you who maybe have a smaller sized bottle, that would be perfect. These are, I don't even know how many ounces these are. But just keep in mind, as I've said before, when you're using plastic bottles, that's what we like to use here because we've got little kids and a dog. When you're using plastic bottles, you really want to make sure that you're using a kind that's going to withstand the oils themselves. Essential oils can be corrosive to plastics, and so you want to make sure you're using the right kind. When in doubt, you can just use glass. So glass is a really good alternative. There's a lot of different companies now that make silicone sleeves for glass bottles. So if you do have kids or you're worried about dropping, or if, whatever may happen, knocking over, the silicone sleeves do really make a really good impact on keeping the glass from breaking. So you can do that. I personally get all of my jars from Aroma Tools. I like using their shop because I know that no matter what, all of the bottles that they have there, plastic or glass, they're going to be made specific to be able to use oils. And the big thing with that is that if you're not using the right kind of plastic, your bottle will literally disintegrate like right in front of your eyes. So you want to make sure that you're not using those. I actually have that happen to me once. Before I did all the research, I had a plastic cup and I had added some oils to my cup for drinking. It was like some peppermint or something. Oh my gosh. And within like an hour, not even, I went to go rinse out my cup and the bottom of the glass was like just coming apart. Like I thought there was like something sticky or slimy like honey at the bottom of the cup or something, and it wasn't. It was literally the cup just disintegrating, the plastic like coming apart, completely losing its ability to be a plastic. So you do want to be careful with that. If you are using any kind of plastic, just make sure that it is an appropriate plastic. All right. So once you have your spray, now this is a condensed version of it, so you really don't need a lot. Always shake just a little bit, and you're gonna spray it right onto. The cotton ball. Boom. You do not need a lot with this because, like I said, it's pretty condensed, seeing as we haven't done any kind of dilution. Oh, there we go. And then you can go ahead and place these cotton balls wherever you have flies in your home. The other option, if you make this spray and you maybe don't have like as big of an infestation as we did, we kind of had a big one. So if you don't have something that's huge, you can always dilute this and just kind of spray it around your house, around your linens. A lot of times like the windows are a place where flies like to kind of accumulate themselves. So if you've got drapes or curtains, you can always spray them on there. The cotton balls is what we like to use because we can place them up on like the window sills. The other options are like in cupboards or at the bottom of your trash cans. Those of you who compost, you can place cotton balls there, or you can just kind of spray around it. Same as when I make my ant spray. When I fill the ant spray up, I fill it up with water, and then I just kind of spray all of the openings. So all the windows, all the doors, anywhere that we're gonna accidentally open or leave open too long. And I spray all of those areas with the spray. So right now I'm working on just the condensed because we're doing just cotton balls. But those of you who maybe are looking into making this a little bit less condensed, you can add some water to this or add some witch hazel and use it as just a general house spray, linen spray, just to kind of keep your house with like a fresh smell, as well as to keep away those flies. So I hope this helps if anyone has any kind of fly issues. Like I said, there are other oils you can use if you do not have the lavender, but lavender is really going to be your best shot with this. It's really, really powerful when it comes to keeping away flies. I've been reading and researching for, I want to say about a week now, trying to find like the perfect combination and, you know, and experimenting with it myself. And lavender really seems to work the best. Sometimes I'll actually take the cotton balls and I will wipe them around the exterior of the window as well. So yeah, those are my little tips for this. Oh, really quickly, if you wanted to make a fly trap. So with a fly trap, you will also use, again, the same ratio. It'll be 20 drops of lemongrass to a whole bottle of lavender. You're gonna put it into a like a little tin can, right? You're going to go ahead and soak your a piece of cloth in this mixture, and then you're gonna tape it over the tin can or rubber band it over the tin can. This is gonna make kind of like a wick. So the oils will kind of seep through constantly through that, if you have like a cheesecloth or honestly any rag will work. You know, if you have like an old t-shirt or something, you cut a little piece of that fabric, you soak it, you place it over, and it will constantly emit that smell. That's one of the reasons you really want to make sure that you're using mainly the lavender and maybe only a little bit of lemongrass if you work with it, if it vibes with you. So you use those, and it's kind of like a stink bomb for the flies. They absolutely hate this smell. So every time they fly by, they're really going to be disgusted by it. And the reason that you're going to use, in this case, you want to make sure you're using the whole bottle of lavender is because you want to keep that moisture. You want to make sure that it's going to be constantly emitting that smell. And it shouldn't take more than a week. Like for us and the amount of flies that we have, like about a week. So if you have something that's smaller, it really should only take a few days. And you can constantly, anytime you feel like that cloth is dry, you can go ahead and just dip it right back in the can, pull it out, and rubber band it around the can. So those are the tips I have, and I hope it helps. All right, bye guys.